Hey, what's up, YouTube? George here, Trading Futures Live, pre-market analysis for Thursday, August 18th, 2022. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Uh, let's get right into it real quick. In the news today, we did have Philly Fed Manufacturing Index at 8:30 a.m., as well as unemployment claims, better than expected and better than expected. Existing home sales at 10 a.m. So we're going to want to watch out for that. Existing home sales as well as the CB leading index, the conference board leading index. But the existing home sales is going to be the major news at 10 a.m. today. We also have an FOMC member speaking in the afternoon that if you're trading at that time, watch out for. But the major news on the day has already happened. We do have a couple of news events. Nothing tomorrow. But next week we do have some stuff to look forward to. We have Flash Services PMI on Tuesday. Nothing on Monday, to the point that I'm curious if it's some sort of holiday that I'm unaware of or something. But absolutely no news on Monday. Flash Services PMI and Flash Manufacturing PMI on Tuesday. Pending home sales and core durable goods on Wednesday, and then GDP quarter over quarter, preliminary GDP quarter over quarter on Thursday, as well as additional unemployment claims. So some big GDP news on Thursday next week. And then core PCE price index, one of the leading indicators that the Fed uses for inflation. So should have a pretty good week next week. Looking ahead to next week, we go ahead and take a look at the markets in the overnight. They have been up for the most part. Let's swap this to a 60-minute. They have all been up since basically the London Open. They recovered and broke back above yesterday's close, and you'll see that spike. That is from the news at 8:30 that we had on the Philly Manufacturing Index. That has since been pulling back all four indexes. We are, let's see real quick. I mean, we're really flat nearly on all of them. Yeah, we're basically flat on all four major indexes. We do have the dollar essentially flat as well. Shot up in the Asian session, broke back down in the European session, and has really just been sideways there, just ranging there since the U.S. Open. Crude is up 89.50 right now. See if it holds below 90. And gold has been trending downwards, up from the 1800 that it was at basically and above last week, trying to hold below that 1800. And the VIX opened up. The market was down in the Asian session, but did recover again, and so the market, or the VIX, has been recovering as well from its gap up to open maybe near flat as well. We go ahead and take a look at the charts. We've got the ES here on the weekly. Hasn't really tapped that trend line there that I have marked out yet, but has essentially pulled back to that trend line, and we're waiting to see what happens there. We've had a sideways week basically thus far, after the strong push last week to even break that zone that I have marked out there. And so we will see what happens. I'm still, as I keep saying, I am still bearish on this time frame. I need to see a higher low created and then the break of a pivot. So we need to see a higher low created and then a break there, basically, for me to really turn back bullish, or a break of the trend line and then a pullback, right, to get long as well. So maybe a break of the trend line, we retest, and then another push to really be bullish here. But we've had such a bullish run since like July, basically, that that this needs to exhaust some. I mean, so it's coming. When is it coming? Nobody knows. Can it be this week, next month? But I do expect some sort of exhaustion here. If we go ahead and look at the daily, right? We've been talking about the 200 SMA. Tested it 2 days ago. Tested it again yesterday. Broke back down, and has been holding beneath there. Steadily trapped between that 200 SMA and I have the 200 EMA down here. This trend line is holding during this bull run so far as well. There seems to be a lot of bearish sentiment in the news. I don't want to say in the markets, but in the news and just other people that I follow and listen to. Everyone's just waiting for this pullback, talking about, oh, this could be the beginning of it. Everyone's so ready for this to pull back that I'm not. And really simply for that reason, because I do expect it to pull back, but just I think everyone's waiting for like a false breakout. Well, everyone's waiting for a breakout to get in short, and it's gonna test these highs again. Especially in my opinion, if we are in a bear market, if we are in a recession and price does eventually come back down, it's maybe, in my opinion, going to want to retest the high before it really kicks back down into bear market territory. Excuse me. And so on the daily, I'm pretty damn near neutral today. It's gonna be a day that I'm going to need to make my decisions at the time of the trade, in the moment, read the internals, read the charts, and so I'm neutral on that time frame. And then if we go ahead and look at the 60-minute, have a few levels marked out: the overnight high, pre-market resistance, this level here that was resistance, broke through and has now become some type of support as my pre-market support. And then my initial support down here is the actual overnight low, as well as yesterday's lows, as well as the lows from Monday. That price shot up from and had a nice run the other few times. So that will be a level that if we do get a break from there, that then I would look to be short potentially. But I do have a nice level down here. It's a huge level right here on the hourly. So I do need to tighten that up some, but we had a nice push from this consolidation here, and so I do expect there to be buyers down here. So for me to get short, breaking below here, I need to make sure that I get in at a decent enough price that that I can target out at least very close to the top of this zone. I don't want to have to target out down near the bottom. So for me to get short, I'm going to want to be on the lookout for that. We do have this triple, these three touches here, right? And so again, a break below that, and I would potentially be looking to get short, but I need to make sure that I have profit potential there. And if it gets down into here, I'm gonna be potentially looking to get long from there. But that's gonna depend on the internals at the time. Are we just screaming down, and is the reversal, right? The break of these three lows there. To the upside, we've got the highs from yesterday. Heck of a run down, but this was in the overnight, so not necessarily a ton of volume, but a nice strong push down that we want to be aware of. It did come and tap that zone yesterday and reversed hard from it as well from the news, and so could still be plenty of sellers there. And then the highs on the week is my next supply zone. And we've got a bit more up here, but still trading in a range. We've got Wednesday to Monday, so we are still inside of the range created from Monday to Tuesday's high, and I don't necessarily expect much change from that today necessarily. We could maybe make a new low and test this area here, but I don't necessarily know that or think that it's that we're gonna have a strong run. Again, the market's gonna do what it wants to do, regardless of what I think or do. And so we just need to be prepared, have a plan, and try and execute on that plan. My plan so far, again, I'm very neutral, so I'm not necessarily going to be looking for breakouts right away. I'm going to try and stay as patient as possible. I'm going to be looking for maybe a break above here into these highs for a potential retest to try and get short from. For me to really be long, I'm going to want to see at least a break above yesterday's high. And if not, a break above even Tuesday's high to maybe retest and get long from. And then to the downside, kind of the same thing. I'm going to be looking more for a reversal from these lows initially, because we do also have this higher time frame trend line that I could pull to in this zone that it could get rejected off of, and so I'm going to be looking more for the reversal to the long side. For me to get short, I'm going to need the break. I'm going to need a break here. Let's say here, and then a nice retest for me to get short from retesting these lows to have enough profit potential into this zone there. And so those are going to be my 4 if-then statements for the morning. Going to try and play more of a ranging day. We already had the news today, didn't get much of a reaction from it. We're still inside of the range of the week. We're still inside of yesterday. So until it breaks yesterday's lows, I'm going to be trying to play the ranges. And that's really it on the ES. If I do want to go through the NQ really quickly. Yeah, sorry about this. I have a bunch of other zones that I'm not sure why they're showing up here. Let me see. Nope. All right, let's skip that one. NQ on the daily. We won't go through the weekly, but NQ on the daily did break this trend line that the ES has been respecting, and but it is trapped between the 200 SMA. It still does have more room to run up, and so the Dow is also very bullish. The Dow has already broken its 200 SMA and has now been bouncing off the top of it, and so, like, for example, room to run here on the NQ. The Dow is very bullish. The Russell, I would probably say, is the weakest, and so so that's where I'm not necessarily sure that we're ready to push it down yet. Everyone's waiting for it. Everyone's kind of thinking that yesterday was the signal to start to that the shorts are coming in, but I mean, they were thinking the same thing here, and so I'm still going to be very, very patient. Don't want to get faked out on a false breakout to come and test these highs again, or even come up to the 200 SMA. So on the 4-hour, on the NQ, I do have the highs on the week as my resistance, my supply up here, and the lows from yesterday are my initial demand level. We did have a nice push here that we have tested it, and we have now tested it twice, but still some decent demand down here that it can maybe come lower into this zone before really getting a nice push out. I mean, the push out yesterday was decent from this zone as well. And then below there, we can certainly run down to the lows from last week. And so a few zones there to watch out for on the NQ that we'll try and pay attention to. But these are going to be my scenarios. I trade the ES only, going to be solo again today and for the rest of the week. Hopefully we get the guys back next week. And we'll catch you guys in about 5 or 10 minutes. Have a good one.